This is my first time using this new software, so give me just 2 seconds to make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to. And that I can open up so I can see y'all's comments. Awesome. What is up, everybody? You're getting a peek behind the curtain. That is normally my Thursday night curtain, which, get that out of the way so that I'm in focus. Eyes up here. It's not about the cards. Problem is that I'm actually up there, so I'm staring at myself instead of talking to all of you, which is what I should be doing over here. So I can actually see Twitter comments, but I also think that this is being saved for posterity, and this is crazy. That's 1. This is 2. So we've actually got double mail days here, and I've still got quite a bit that's out, but very fun to do this way for the first time ever. Sorry. Again, it's not as exciting for all of you because you're not seeing all the back-end technology I've got going on. I'm recording this, and it's not going to cut out on my landline. Look, my phone is fine. Everything is good. So let's rip into this. But first off, I wanted to talk with a little bit. If you look at the title, you'll see. So I actually sent this in through Jim Mint Subs. I believe it's gmmintsubs.com. Should have had that information prepared in advance. I'm sorry, Ronnie, but you can follow him Jim_mint_cards on Twitter, or I believe it's gmsubs.com. Let's just, again, this is what's so great about this setup is I can do this mid-stream. Makes for bad TV long term, but at least you guys know. Yep, gmsubs.com. So Ronnie has a better eye than I, has better tools than I. I've got obviously a cloth, right? You know, you see dust specks or dirt, you want to wipe it off. There's also a fine line between tampering with the card versus just making sure it's in the best condition possible. From everything I've gathered, Ronnie stays on the good side of the line. He never once brought up something that I thought was questionable, just so much as like, hey, this one is off center, don't send it, because I can't tell. I've even got the grading tool and I still can't tell. Or this one has excessive marks, don't send it. In fact, I've got one of those right there. So probably the big piece of this whole thing was my 20 Lewis Hamilton subs that I sent in. 20 Lewis Hamilton Tops Now card number 3s. You know, huge money maker, possibly. PSA 10s have sold for up to like $5,400. Most recent one was $4,600 in a PSA 10, and I had 20 of them. This is luck. This is not skill. So I send the 20 to Ronnie for an express sub, and he says, you know what? This spot right here, nothing we can do about it. Or this right here. And I'm like, what? Huh? So he actually sent me back, too, and said, don't even bother subbing them. So save me money right there, especially when it's $150 a sub. So that's also why part of this is split up between Express and regular. But again, huge shout out to Ronnie. Let's see the actual results, though, aside from just the things that he sent me back and said, don't grade these. So he also handled all the shipping. He handled the putting into card savers with tabs, which is extra good because I have this issue here. Does anybody have this? What's going on in the ats on Twitter? Where like the wind, something about the AC and the temperature makes it so that like my card savers and my top loaders get this funny film on them. Anybody else have that? Is that just me? Is it just my body odor? Drop a comment and let me know. So here we have. Well, wait, which should I do first, the regular or the express? Is anybody watching? Did I lose y'all? Did I lose y'all when I said Ronnie? Or when I said body odor? Okay, so these are all in boxes anyways. So there's one box. StockX doing some smart advertising there. Ooh, that box is really light. This box is really heavy. And this box is really heavy. Okay, I got one for regular. Not Nolan Ryan 1 said regular. Trade by Sell says express. Cool Jazz says cores. Regular. Okay, so you guys are with me. Save the big express for last. Okay, so we've got the big express. We've got regular. Cool Jazz voting twice for Express. Okay, so this one is the lightest one. I'm not sure why. It's all by itself. So there's 3 of these regular boxes from the sub. I still have one Express there. I don't know how the regular got through before the Express. Go figure. But, oh, so this is the thing I don't want to read, right? Is that going to tell me everything? Okay. All right. Oh, lots of free bubble wrap in there. Also, this is the first... I have not graded cards in like 3 years either. So this is super exciting for me because I haven't done this in forever. So if I'm nerding out a bit, that's why. But make sure if you're watching that you're hitting like, that you're subscribing, or that you're sharing the tweet. Oh, okay, so the very first card is a non-banger. It is another Formula 1 card. This is Alexander Alban's Tops Now in a PSA 9. Now, this is interesting. If you haven't been following the Tops Now Formula 1, this is the lowest print run likely ever that we'll see. He's a racer. If he were still racing, I would absolutely love this. I actually do still love it, and he is a guy who very well could find himself racing again soon. So if you're looking for some deals in F1, he might be one. Absolutely fearless driver. So fearless, in fact, that he crashed the Red Bull car way too many times last year, and that's part of why he got demoted. But a lot of people really do love him as a driver. The timing, so it was in the second batch. It's card number 4. So they did the first cards, the first 3, which had Lewis Hamilton. I can't shut that without squeaking it. And then they did the second 3, and everybody's like, nobody actually knew who he was, and it's not a winner card, it's a podium card, which means he's in the top 3. So yeah, so it just had a really low print run. So it will forever be really hard to get, and so I sent in some of mine's, and that one got a 9. Don't worry, not every one of these 50 cards will have that long of a story. I hope, unless you all like the stories. I want this to be a dialogue. If you are watching after the fact, though, if you're on YouTube or something, feel free to comment. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to sneak over to the Twitter, watch the breaks, and engage there. Always fun conversation going on there. Okay, I don't know how to close those boxes. It's magic. Everything PSA does is magic. Okay, so we already have a better card. Right on top, we've got a PSA 10 Alexander Alban. Yes, anybody that wants to come over and help me ship stuff and clean stuff out. My wife is a big conservationist, and I shouldn't even say that. I believe in conservation too. So we tend not to throw away paper that we could possibly use again. So there's 1 10. There's 1 9. There's another 9. Oh, here's the card that I'm going to send to my buddy who is a big racing fan. PSA 8. There we go. PSA 8. So, can't win them all, but that's fine because the buddy that got me into F1 last summer in the first place, that's a nice thing that you can send to him. And it's still the lowest print run card in the set. Okay, so it looks like they do these in somewhat decent order. So we're switching up to Tops Now Soccer with a Gem Mint 9 Giovanni Reyna. This is actually his second Tops Now card, but it's still one of the rarest out there. And another thing I got incredibly lucky on. In fact, actually, I cannot remember who told me to buy this card. So if you have the DM of you telling me last, what was it, January, hey, check out this card, please find it, and I will send you a free PSA 9 one as a thank you. Because I actually sold another one of these raw for $230 on ComC yesterday. It's insane. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on, but this was really my entree into international soccer after being an LAFC fan for a number of years. So if you are that person and you're watching now and you remember, hey, I'm the one that told you about that, DM me and we'll go back and, it's right there in the messages. I just cannot remember for the life of me. I have a few suspicions, but I don't want to throw names out and then accidentally guess wrong. There's another PSA 9, Giovanni Reyna. So this is an example of a mistake that I made also. I could have sent these last January, and I would have had 20 to send, and probably gotten better results, because I didn't actually get great results, but I basically sent the last of what I had regardless. So another PSA 9, so that's 1, 2, 3 PSA 9s, 4 PSA 9s. So there you go. It happens, but one of those is as a thank you to the person out there that first got me hooked into international soccer with that exact card. So that's the other thing I like to do, is share the love. Next up, PSA 10, Moukoko, Youssoufa Moukoko. I think this is still the largest print run Topps Now soccer card, but that doesn't keep PSA 10s from being more than worth it. In fact, I actually already made money on the base cards that I sold using the Topps Now strategy. So there's one of those. Oh, it looks like a UPS package was just delivered from Mitsubishi Logistics. Who the heck is that? Sorry if I just... another PSA 10. So thank you, Ronnie, for 2 PSA 10s there. 1 PSA 9. So what are we batting right now? 66% on the 10s. Oh, another PSA 10. We're up to 75% on the 10s. Oh, PSA 9. So we're at 60% on the 10s. Wow, we lost a whole bunch of people. I announced I was giving something away for free, and we lost a whole bunch of people watching. Oh, we'll never understand the internet. Another PSA 10. So I don't know what we're at now. I lost count. Is this 4 out of 6 now? Looks like 5 out of 7 PSA 10s. 5 out of 7 PSA 10s. And those aren't all that I sent, but one thing that Ronnie and I did was we sent at different service levels. So I think I sent 20 total, but another lesson I learned, hate to put a good friend on the spot, but I know Tony's Hobby Vault has an incredible sub that has been with PSA for months. Incredible if you're an F1, tennis, soccer, alternative sports fan like me, because he sent it right away, which I should have done, but he sent it all bulk, right? So just from seeing that mine were actually coming back faster than his, and he's probably going to get up. I hope he gets upcharged. I hope you don't mind the story, Tony. You tweeted about it, right? It just made me think, you know what? I should really divide. If 6 months from now a PSA 10 of this is going to be a $100 card, why not pay the extra today to send 5 or 7 of them express and at least get the time for the upcharge? What do y'all think? Think about that. Okay, so now we have an F2 Formula One F2 champion, Mick Schumacher, PSA 10, first Topps Now. First Topps Now. So similar thing. I think I had 20 of these that I sent, but we've got 10 on the regular sub. I just saw Jeremy commented, good sub thus far. 10s are much tougher now. For a couple of reasons. I've actually noticed Topps Now, my good friend Mike in Vegas clued me into this strategy a few years back. I did not do it often enough. In like 2018, Topps Now were really high quality. Like they came off the line really good. And so they were a good sub because they were likely to get 10s. Well, I have noticed that in the last year, 9 months really, lots of quality issues have come up and started happening with them. So one, that makes them tougher since most of this so far has been Topps Now. And then, of course, there is the rumors of population control or just general tougher grading. I don't sub enough to know if that's true, but that being said, this is another reason why I sent to Ronnie, who does sub all day, every day, to look at them and say, don't send these. In fact, in this next box, we're going to see a place where he saved me money. He made me a lot of money, but he also saved me money, which I think is a really cool component of what we did here with this sub. So So yes, Jeremy, I definitely agree. Tens are tougher now, and this is a monster sub. It's just um, hard to multitask, especially with these boxes and those boxes, and these boxes are going to go into those boxes. That's just the way life is. So, real people doing real card things. So now we've got Max Verstappen, who is the second best racer right now, right behind Lewis Hamilton. So there is a 9 from his Tops Now bundle. But here is a 10. Woohoo! So that's 110. Oh, there is a second 10. So I'm not sure if this is all, if we only had 3 in the regular sub here, but that's 2 for 3 on the 10s. And then this one makes me a little sad. We'll see the total numbers. I didn't see it, but I know that he actually told me, Ronnie told me, he said, you know, the George Russells you sent, who's my guy, I love this kid, possibly future Mercedes driver, they were bad. So he warned me the whole batch was bad, so none of them made it in my Express sub. I wanted to try to put 2 of them in my Express sub. But yes, Greg, I got... It's in the pile. In fact, I actually blame Tony. Tony will laugh when he finds out why I haven't opened some of that mail yet. Part of it's Tony. I want to do a big video like this with all of the mail days that I have right now, because you all deserve it. But yeah, so Greg, I did get your letter. It is here. Anyways, the George Russells were not a good batch overall. So we'll see what some other batches may grade when grading reopens and if I do sub more. But that one was a 9. We did get a 10. But again, he also kept me from sending some of these express. We got an 8. So yeah, 8s happen. And that's okay. We got another 10. Hey. So we did, looks like 2 for 4 on the 10s there. Now this next one, so now we're switching it up into sort of the like alternate stuff that I subbed. And we've got a couple of bangers coming up here right in a row. The first is from one of my favorite products to open last year. I know it's not numbered. I know they didn't do numbering on a lot of this stuff, but my God, Hoops Premium Stock is such a good looking product. The stuff we love about Prism, none of the over the top, like Select is just almost trying too hard to be fancy. But Hoops Premium Stock is just absolutely beautiful, and this is the Silver Prism Zion Williamson from their PSA 10. So it's not like the Black Prism, but still, I do love my Silver Prism Zion. That got a 10. Was not expecting that, because I know that these are not easy to grade, but better than Prism in my estimation. And then this one. This one has got to be a Ronnie success. I sent him a couple of really ugly Mbappe Topps Chrome rookies. I've actually got the other one here. One of them, he said, we got to send that to BGS. So another part of the process was him saying, hey, you know, this one's a better BGS candidate. And honestly, I was fine with this from BGS for what I paid. You know. That sub was not terrible at all. It also got me a quad 9.5 Erling Haaland finest. But this one, I swear, was just as bad, and I don't know what to do with these chrome surfaces. PSA 10, baby. I know he sat out today. Today he was supposed to score 3 goals and help PSG over Man City, but didn't really do much. But still, PSA 10 of his Chrome rookie card. Doesn't say RC on it, but come on, we all know. We all know, right? So that is an absolute Ronnie success. Thank you, Ronnie, for that one. And then, of course, you got to send in a few Bernies. Try to get a 10 on that super popular Tops Now Bernie. 1, 2. So here is where... So again, most people would look at this and be like, oh man, I got a 9 on the huge card. But because I sent it regular instead of express, this is a huge victory for me. Because the 9s are still $1,000 plus. And I didn't spend the extra $100 to send it express. Ronnie looked at it and said, you know what? No, we still want it graded, but, hope for the upcharge. And so there's 2 of those in my sub. 2 PSA 9 Lewis Hamiltons. And then we've got, this is another one. So I opened 33 boxes of this, sold off way too many, way too early. The Tennis Osaka Hall of Fame. Yep. So we've got 2 PSA 9s from there. And these are also a super tough grade. So again, a 9 is nothing to shake a fist at. Look up prices on those and get back to me in the mentions or the comments. So 0 complaints there. But now we do have this. And I'm probably going to... I know that the cards are packaged safe inside here, I guess, right? So I can't really hurt anything, but which edges am I... Here we go. I think this is the edge I'm supposed to go for. So this is the big... One of 2 expresses. So that's the other thing is Ronnie... I'm going to give some free advice here from Ronnie, but this is why I use him, is aside from the prep, he gives good advice. So one thing he said was, don't send all 20 Hamiltons in one sub, or 18 Hamiltons, however many it was. Because if they all land with the same grader, and that grader has something in their eye that day, it's putting all your eggs in one basket. So he said, let's send a couple different subs, let's mix it up, and improve your chances at least, getting your total value worth. And I can say, at least one of these, oh, look, a free, the least they could do, send you a free card saver. Thanks, PSA, for my, let's see what this one cost. Oh my God! Whew. Really? Oh my goodness. 9,000? No, I'm just kidding. So that's pretty cool. Little ad for Golden Auctions in here. Okay. So how do I... Oh, I need... The box needs more... These boxes are so impossible to open. I don't even know what's the top and what's the bottom. So let's see if this is going to do it without... Yeah, like half of them are stuck in there. Woohoo! Y'all know what number I just saw. Oh. So this is the big reveal if you've been sitting around waiting around. Tap that like button, tap those hearts. No, it did not cost $9K to grade this small box. That was a joke. Though maybe it should have. Whew. This is it. This is the reveal. Lewis Hamilton at PSA Card Express Order Reveal time. Sorry, I'm tweeting that out. I know y'all are watching this, so I apologize, but whew. Front or back? Y'all type some answers in there. Oh, I don't have the patience. Back 10! Ho ho! Oh, another 10. That's 2 out of, what do we have here? 9? Three out of 9. Population control, right? Four out of 9. Five. We're batting 1,000 so far. We are 5 for 5 so far on PSA 10s. 5 for 5. 6 for 6. Unreal. Man, oh man. Why did I not send these in October? When I bought 60 of these at the initial drop. 1915 is the print run. 6 for 6. Seven for 7. Someone just asked in the room, what's pop control? So that's the idea that they don't want huge numbers of tens, so sometimes they get stricter as they go on the same card. Eight for 8. Did we bat 1,000 on an express order of Lewis Hamilton Topps Nows? 10, 9 for 9. 9 for 9 PSA 10s on the express order of Lewis Hamilton's. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh. Thank you. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, PSA. Thank you, the Academy. All 9 of my Express Lewis Hamiltons. In that sub, I've got one more sub still outstanding. PSA 10s. It is unreal. You can look up what this card is going for. Two Bros Breaks just asked, actually, I need to go to the bank and drop these off in a box. I'll be back. Which is why I also say, so here's the advertisement for Ronnie portion, which I paid him for the service because that's what I wanted, and he did it right before the price hike. He did it all in one day, spent 12 hours working on my sub. But not only did he get those 910s, notice he specifically said, let's send these in the regular, not the express. Save me $100 each on those. Got me the 910s. He can show you what they looked like before. Like, I don't know how to get a smudge off of anything. Whew. So thank you, Ronnie. Heck, my family thanks you. This is one of the things about sports cards and this current market that is so crazy, especially with, true collector battles and all of those things. It's like, it is a hobby. I got into F1 last summer because of my business partner knows people in marketing there and said, hey, you should really watch this. It's fun. It's exciting. It's interesting. I got into soccer 2 years ago because I couldn't afford basketball cards anymore, and LA started a team, LAFC. So I love it, man. I've got my Chris Bryant, my favorite card. Mike in Vegas sent me this 7 years ago right here. But at the same time, there's also something really freaking cool about doing something that I love, getting the George Russell 10 that I can keep forever, because I like him a lot more than I like Lewis Hamilton from a heart standpoint. They're both great guys, great racer, but I'm tied to George Russell in a fun success manner. And is this the stream for the NASA Live launch? I love my friends. But it's also really freaking cool when I can look at this and say, like, wow, I know what this is going to do for my family. I know what this is going to do for a lot of things. Last year with Project 2020, there's actually a piece of art I still haven't hung up on the wall. A friend of mine going through COVID is an artist and business dried up for 3 months. And because of Project 2020, I was able to say, yeah, I can buy a piece of art from you. I can spend a something a year before that I could never have done, spent money on a piece of artwork, but now my friend is hurting, I can send money to them, get some art in return. It's like a win-win. Brought music back into my life with a new guitar. And so it is, I think, super, super cool the way that this current market, with its ridiculousness, also brings change. It's the same with NFTs and with crypto, too. I'm not saying go all out on them, but I know people who did it in a responsible way that they could afford, that matched their risk, and did it enough that they found the thing that hit and got something that changed their life in a way, in some way or in many ways. So I don't know. I think it is very cool when something like this happens to any of you, and I hope and pray that it does, and I love that it does. And I love talking the hobby. I love seeing the hobby grow. I missed out on the F1 Chrome because of the Montgomery Club stuff. Yeah, I'll send out 3 tweets whining about it, but I'm also 100% excited for all of you that were able to pay $100 for a box of cards that doesn't mean as much to you as it may to somebody else because you don't follow that sport. But you can flip it, make some money for your family, make some money for the other cards you like. Do you know how many cards I've bought because I can now? Versus, it's another thing I dislike about some of the hobby gatekeepers. Good people, but some of y'all that just rail about profit and all of this. It's like, not everybody is in a place in life where they can afford to go buy the $200 autograph of their favorite MLB player. Honestly, 5 years ago, I could not afford to buy a Chris Bryant first autograph. Like, I could not afford to make that choice. My wife would have been upset at me because of where we were at financially. If making money doing cards allows me to pick up PC cards also along the way, that's great. It's so much easier. And we saw it with Top Shot, too. Like, yeah, a bunch of people jumped in for the money. But once you've made the money, it becomes a lot easier to collect. Becomes a lot easier to have an emotional attachment. When you're up $1,000, you don't feel as bad buying, 3 $20 Nuggets moments, right? Which is absurd. I would never pay $20 for a moment of a guy passing an assist that's, guy number 8 on the roster throwing an assist. Never pay 20 moments for that. But you kind of can if you've done well previous to that. So I don't know. That's my of course. Total shout out to Tom there. He's my Nuggets guy. So, but yeah. So that's what the hobby's about for me. And I do. This is mind blowing. So I appreciate everybody in the comments with good stuff to say, and I'm here for you too. Share your victories, share your wins. I love seeing them. I love sharing them. I love that we're all growing this hobby. The bigger it gets, the better it is for everybody. Yeah, it's got challenges, and we should hold those challenges to a standard. We should hold companies to a standard. We should hold ourselves to a standard. But it's also really, really fun that those challenges are because of all the victories in so many ways. So I don't know when this turned into preaching with Ivan, but it's been fun. It's a summation of a lot of emotions that come up when you have a sub come in like this. When you haven't subbed in 3 years, I think it honestly was 2018. I sent about 12 cards with Mike in Vegas, my good friend. I think that was his last sub. If he's watching this, Greg Remersma just said the same thing. And if you don't follow him, Remersma_63, great collector. But he says I have to sell cards in order to afford the hobby these days. Yes, and I don't fault you at all for that. And you've got great sales, so people should follow you, Greg. But that's why I don't fault people. It's like, if you have to do some work to be in this hobby, that's fine if you're willing to do the work, right? Let's do that. Let's bless you with the fact that hopefully a lot of those Seahawks cards have done well. That you've got some good rookie autographs. You've got some good baseball cards and basketball cards in there so that you can enjoy the hobby. So, I don't know. That's my reality. That's this video. Huge shout out to Ronnie at GemMintCards on Twitter, gmsubs.com. He subs to multiple companies. So again, he advised me on what I should send to BGS, what I should send to PSA. Helped me get some really great grades on cards that otherwise I would have just blind submitted, and helped me avoid paying to submit other cards. So 100% vouch for his service and communication every step of the way. And thank you. Thank you all. And if you gave me that tip on Giovanni Reyna January of last year, hit my DMs, all right? Take care. Bye for now.